And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. That's taken on the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. 149 yards rushing for him now as he tries to will his guys into the Super Bowl.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. 1st down. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a 1st down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's got it down to the 28.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's the 2nd down and 6. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. 28 yards. And the River Hogs continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Orlando takes back over on offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and now it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft complete.
And it's a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 1st and 10, Ferguson. Open man, that's Henry. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Nice job there after the setback, 11 yards, and now it's 2nd and goal. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
That's complete right around the 8. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal. Well, the protection was pretty good there. He was able to hold on to that for a long time, but just nobody could get open.
Excellent coverage downfield. As you mentioned, no one could get open, and he's just trying to avoid the sack and get the ball out of there, but he ends up dumping it off, and it ends up as a negative yardage play.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. A disastrous loss there on 1st and goal on the sack sets him back big time. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, complete. It's Holloway. He will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
Boy, 179 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 18 yards there and a first down.
And that's the kind of run you get when you know Super Bowl berth is in sight. They've got the lead. It's the second half. All those weeks of wear and tear in your body just go away. He's running with purpose now, and that's a heck of a run.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Going up the gun, Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
2nd down and 4.
Let's go. Double time, double time. Hey, you got 3 down, 3 down. 5-2's the Mike. Mike 5-2, Mike. Ready.
Now it's the first involvement on the ground for the backup running back. And they'll get him down right about the 20.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They get to hoist the Hallis Trophy. Unbelievable victory. Moving on to the Super Bowl.
I only hope that these players understand exactly who is behind that trophy. George S. Hallis, one of the creators of this great game of football of ours and creator of the NFL. What an amazing feeling and an amazing accomplishment.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.